Hi everyone, this is Jim. This is a postmortem, I guess you might call it. I played an interesting game recently. I just did it was my Blitz chess game number 40, and I just did a postmortem on it. And we ended up in a pretty interesting endgame. Let's go back to that position, and I want to correct something I said during that postmortem. I like to get these things correct when I can. It was this position. So right here, bong, bong. It's black's turn to move, and I was wondering if black had made the best move here. This position should be drawn. I wasn't sure during the postmortem or during the game. In fact, in the game I thought it might be winning, but it's pretty clearly a draw now that I've had time to investigate it. The way he played rook a5 is the right way to play. I suggested maybe he could play rook to d2 here, hitting the pawn from the side and trying to keep my king occupied defending these pawns. But my king can escape through f3, for example. It's not going to be tied down. And I can push my pawn forward, and that'll give some scope to my rook. So the way he played it, rook a5, is absolutely correct. And then I have to defend. And I just want to say a few things about this position in general. It's funny. You might think you could just look this up in a book and find out if this is a win-loss or a draw, but it's not so simple. It's not even in the table bases. There's more. The table bases, which are computer-generated, can show all positions up to 5 or 6 pieces, but this has 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces, so it's way outside the range of the table bases. And your computer engine will give you some assistance, but it's not flawless. It can't see all the way out to the end, so it gives a meaningless number like 0.19. I mean, at this point, it's either a win, a loss, or a draw, so the answer is either 0, +1, or -1, but not 0.19. The reason this is a draw is because the pawn is so far back. So one position I did find in my in-game book is it was a game between Alekhine and Capablanca. It was played in 1927. It was the 34th game of the World Championship match, the 1927 match in Buenos Aires. So you can look that up, game 34. And if you see in the ending, they reach a similar position. The kings are over on this side, 3 pawns each. But the rook pawn is up to this square. So that makes a big difference, and white's rook is behind it. So that gives white a lot more scope to play around. And he marches his king in, and he marches his king back, and he does a number of things and eventually manages to win. But even that game, I looked at it later with the engine, and it looks like Capablanca, who was defending, did not play the best moves at certain points, and I think he could have actually even held a draw in that position. But that's complicated enough that people can debate whether it's a win or a draw. And it's interesting that in a position like this, I guess grandmasters would play on. But I think now that I've had a chance to look at it, I think this position is pretty clearly a draw. And the reason is that black's rook over here has a lot more scope. It can go to any of these squares up and down, and it can attack things to the side. And this pawn has got a long way to go. If this pawn were pushed further up, then it becomes dangerous for the rook to come over and take things. But when the pawn is this far back, it can come over and grab a pawn and then still get back in time to stop this pawn from queening. So, in general, obviously depends on the circumstances. So I think this position is a draw, and let's play it out the way it might proceed. So my opponent played king f8 here, but if we look at the computer recommendation, it says f6 or h5. I like this h5 idea. So let's just show how this might work. Now my idea, if I just stay over here with my king, I can never make progress with this pawn. I can't push it because the black rook will just take it, and I can't move my rook forward to support it because the black rook will just take it again. So the only way I can ever make progress is to get my king over here. So if I try that, and black proceeds with his plan of counterplay on the king side here, and he's just faster, and he has this rook in a good position to support it. So I keep, let's see, it was my move, yeah. So he comes here to support his pawns coming forward. I keep playing my plan, and then he pushes g5, and already I'm in a difficult situation. If I ignore it, say I bring my rook over so that I want to make room for my king to come here and support the pawn. He can just take this guy. And now I have to take back. I can't really let him come forward. Then he can attack it. And as I come forward to support my pawn, he can just take that. And now not only is this a draw, but now black has some winning chances. So you don't want to play that way. So backing up to this point, after g5, what can I do? If I take, there's going to be a similar problem. He takes back. So let's see, I bring my rook over. He just pushes ahead with h4. And if I keep running over here, this pawn is going to go past and threaten to queen. The computer has me running back, but like I said before, if I just run back, then it's going to be a draw. So I take, he takes back, and now once again he's got this threat of queening. I can run over here, but this will soon be losing. He can even, oh, maybe not yet. But if you look at this, let's back up. If you look at this, it's already to the point where black has the advantage and not white. So obviously, with white trying to win, this is not going to work. Okay, so that means I can't bring my king over here to support this pawn as long as white is, as long as black is following the correct plan. I'm just trying to generate counterplay over here with these pawns. Another idea I might try is maybe I clamp down on the counterplay here by playing f5, f4. So I'm just trying to stop him from advancing his pawns. He keeps up with the same plan, I think. And then I come over, and I'm going to bring my rook here. If he attacks from the side, I can bring my rook to this square to defend it. But he can just keep attacking here. Peter had him playing g6, but there's no reason to be so shy. This works just fine, and it's more forcing. If I don't take, how about if I don't take and just play here? He takes, I take back, and I end up with these split pawns that are a little bit hard to defend. So he comes forward. Say I run this way, following the same plan. Comes here. I put my rook here, trying to keep him confined. And he plays his rook to a4, attacking this pawn from the side. So I have to bring my rook back this way, and now his king can start marching in. His king can go to these squares, here and here, and this is all just bad news for me. It says I should try f5 at this position. Let's see. If he plays king g6, f5 check. Well, okay, I'll try and keep his king back that way, but this gives up the h-pawn. Just goes back, and I go here, try and defend everything. He can attack this pawn from the side. And, I can go back and forth defending the pawns, but again, this is going to be a draw. So it just does not seem to be any way to stop it. He can always generate enough threats against my pawns over here that as my king leaves, my rook gets tied up, or it just never seems to work. So that's my conclusion on this position in the game. Let's go back to it. Right here, rook, let's back up. It was this position in the game, yeah. So I had just taken the last pawn. It's black's to move. Black's turn to move. And this is a draw. The extra pawn that white has is just not far enough advanced. And black, having the move here, can put his rook in front of the pawn, attack it, and have lots of scope for his rook, force my rook back to an unfortunate position, and then advance his pawns and liquidate my pawns over here. And there you have it. That's the way you should draw this game. I hope you guys learned something from that. I thought it was pretty instructive, so I thought I would post this here. Didn't want to leave any lingering doubts about the right way to play this position based on my previous postmortem. And see you guys soon. Bye.